Good morning, you guys. I thought I would jump on here and just talk to you guys about some real life stuff. So I'm going to do a little face care while I'm doing that. So about 3 years ago, I did a podcast on my Every Ray Living channel, and I did 3 parts, and it was called Daddy Issues. And I didn't grow up being close with my dad, so didn't even have a relationship with him. So this is why I did the podcast. I did it as a form of healing, even though I didn't feel like I carried the fact that he wasn't in my life all like that. I never made that a thing, but I didn't realize how much of a thing it was until I got older, because my mom always raised me not to speak negative about him, because she always said it'll be enough in the streets that'll talk about him for you, so don't do that. And the reason I started thinking my dad not being in my life like a normal situation would be, I started realizing it was affecting me in my dating. And you might not think that your dad not being in your life wouldn't play that big of a part, especially if you have another father figure. And another father figure in my life was my uncle. And I just always was raised around strong women that just didn't play, and you just moved on with life. You just made stuff happen with or without a man, okay? And my aunts were very strong women, along with my mom. And my 2 aunts were married, but honey, them women, they was gonna get it done with or without a husband, okay? But as I got older, I started replaying things, thinking about things, and a lot of things I remember growing up. When I would go around my dad's side of the family, I was always loved and well received. And there would be times my dad would be there, but he would be awkwardly silent. And with all the love and the greetings that I was getting from everyone else, his silence was always so loud. Now, don't get me wrong. There would be times when I'm there and he's there, would be conversations, but very subtle. But even that took a minute to get to that point. Let me also say we've moved past that. My dad has apologized numerous times. I have forgiven him, like probably when I didn't even really know and understand what forgiveness meant. I never harbored any ill feelings towards him. But like I said, as I got older, I started realizing how him not being in my life, me not having a real relationship with him, how it affected me in decision making with dating guys, why I stuck and stayed, or whatever the case may be. I realized my dad not being in my life kind of played a part in that, and I'm going to explain why. In a nutshell, adults go through situations and they birth children out of those situations, and the children are left to deal with the question of why, how, when, X, Y, and Z. And in their mess, you're stuck with trying to figure out why you don't belong, why you're not accepted, and the list can go on and on and on. And at some point, I started feeling uncomfortable in certain situations. I really couldn't put my finger on it, but on the one hand, I'm very confident. I can go in a place by myself and I'm good. But on the other hand, there was a time that I just felt uneasy, uncomfortable, not really sure, just all the things. But it came down to being loved and well received by everyone except for that one person where his silence was so loud. It didn't matter how many people said they love me, they like me, and all the things, but that one person that is the whole reason why I'm there, that one person was just very aloof. And obviously it had nothing to do with me. I always knew that. And, he verified that when we were able to talk and just make amends. And I think we got a little bit more closer after my mom passed, because we were talking even before she had passed. But moving forward, he cleared up a lot of things, even though I didn't ask for those questions or whatever. He answered a lot. And then talking to him and getting to know him on a different level made me understand a lot about myself. And the relationship is not for anyone else to understand, especially since forgiveness has been already downloaded and we've talked, but it just opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't pay attention to. I didn't think I needed to even pay attention to, but it helped me grow up in a different way. I was always comfortable around my dad's side of the family, but on the other side of that coin, I was uncomfortable because it was just always this weirdness, like I can't explain it, but I can explain it. But my grandfather's funeral, which was his dad, that made me realize why I was uncomfortable. But it's so funny because when I went to go see him, the way he hugged me and gave me a kiss, you would have thought he'd been in my life all my life, and that's just what we did. But I'm saying all that to say this: there's power in healing. Sometimes we walk through life and think it's a flex by saying, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you think, and you care a lot. That's why you make such a big deal by saying you don't care. And a person that's always saying they don't care is just a defense mechanism, so you don't get so close to find out they in fact care a lot. And my dad didn't have a whole bunch of kids. It was just my brother and myself, and I'm older than my brother. But when we were talking, it was just funny because he had said something lightweight, giving me like advice. And the little girl inside of me wanted to say, thanks, Dad. I'm laughing, but I'm very serious. And he's very soft-spoken, just very mild and meek or whatever. Kind of not like me, but then at the same time, very much like me, because I can be that way, but I'm just a more outgoing person in general, if I like you. So I'm sharing that with you guys because, like I said earlier, it is power in healing. If you're dealing with something, you haven't forgiven someone, do it because it's for your benefit. Not for their benefit, for your benefit. Don't worry about what somebody's going to think you look like, because harboring all that negative energy, it ages you, it puts weight on you, and not just physical weight, extra emotional weight that you don't need. So this has nothing to do with the video, but I am in love with this coconut and sweet almond oil glow. I got it at the Dollar Tree, and I've been using it sparingly because I don't feel like I've been seeing it there. But I only go to one specific Dollar Tree, so that could be why. But anyways, I love a good face oil or whatever because it's not greasy, but it gives just enough of a glow. And I don't have any filters on, so there's that. And lastly, your girl has been using her hair products. So I did rewash my hair with the Baskin Lather shampoo and conditioner. I'm not gonna lie, Pattern is my favorite conditioner. I mean, I like this, but I'm realizing that Pattern is my girl. But I'm gonna use the Baskin Lather until it's all gone, but I'm gonna circle back to this. And like I said, it is a little oily, so you only need a little bit. A little will go a long way. Lastly, this is the $16 gel. This is the $1.50 gel from Dollar Tree. And I'm not going to lie, this is my favorite gel over this. I know. It's something about this I don't like, but your girl's going to use it because I paid $16 for it. And my other gel that I like. Also, I am now making not only Dubai chocolate drops or whatever, and hands down, mine are the best you'll ever taste. I make things, but I make them for like smaller groups because everything is custom and homemade. So I don't try to, do too much because I like for everything to be nice and packaged and taste delicious. And now I am making champagne cupcakes. These cupcakes are I don't want to say to die for, because I want you dying over nothing that serious. Nothing about a cupcake is that serious to be dying over, but they are delicious. So if you guys want me to make cupcakes for your party, whatever, let me know. Again, everything is custom, and stay tuned for more content. And I love you guys, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.